Good morning, traders. Welcome to Trading Room. And for my YouTube viewers, we will be posting this on YouTube a bit later. We're live in the Trading Room. We'll be posting it a little later. And as the weekly outlook, my quick warning to all of you, what I'm going to be showing you is my views of how we see patterns and how we are going to trade them. What you probably wouldn't get in this one is the strategy of how we trade, the management of the trades that we do. All of that is done live in the trading room. And all of that is taught to my traders. So each one of them are individual traders, very successful, doing their own thing, right? So that's just the disclaimer. So anything you see me say here, you would have to make sure that you have your own views on it. You have your own strategy. You have your own money management and risk management and trade management rules to go with. So just don't take a trade because I say it or anybody said it. Okay, with that, let's go right into it. If you've been following me from last week, you would have known that we are looking at the dollar index. Let me go through the daily structure. Let me start with the daily structure. We're looking at the dollar. We're still in this consolidation. And if you've been following me for a while, you would know that I kind of mentioned it that this is a daily consolidation, weekly consolidation that will probably take years to happen, going up and down, up and down. But if at one glance, if you're looking at my chart at one glance, you would notice something. And if you don't notice this, then you need to look a lot more on how you trade. So you would notice something if you look at, let me see if I can get I have my drawing too. You would notice something on my chart. You would notice that I'm putting few lines that are showing some kind of a pattern in there. You'd also notice that there are a lot of lines in here. But what you notice is that there's a cluster here. There's a cluster here. There's a cluster here. You notice that I'm kind of putting the clusters in boxes, right? I'm kind of boxing the clusters. And that depends a lot because you see these two lines were showing the top of this move, the first impulse, where we expect it to always go back and then come here. And the trade we look for is within this range for the entire week, up and down. Now, for this week again, there's a very likelihood we're going to stay in that range. There's a very good chance that this that is coming down might not be the one that breaks out of the range. There's a very high probability it's going to go back to the top of that range and then come down, right? When it comes, it's going to break this low. After which, I think we might even go back to the top of the bigger range, right? Because I don't think this was all the correction. That could be, you could make an argument for 1, 2, 3 as being all the correction. That would be a contracting flat. Now, most contracting flats turned out to be running flats. So you would find that this would go back up one more there, and then you would end up with this is the 1, 2, 3. Go back and retest the top, complete this pattern as a regular flat, and then come down. Now that might look weird. I know if you're not a wave analyst trader, if you've not been following me for a while, if you accidentally stumble onto this video the very first time and you're looking at what I'm drawing here and you're thinking, well, he's probably crazy. If you didn't think that, then you are probably crazy. So you would have to look at all the drawings I'm showing you, thinking the market is going to go up, come here, and then go back there and then drop like this. And you're saying, well, yeah, that looks like a bit of magic. And the reason I'm stressing this magic is because for a very long time, I haven't been in the internet doing a lot of crazy stuff. Like I haven't been looking at, YouTube videos and short videos because time is of essence and I don't have it. But I was with my daughter on the playground for a very long time this weekend and quite a lot because my son was busy doing other stuff. And I decided, well, since I'm waiting on her and she's playing with her friends, I might as well just waste some time looking at things on the phone. And I learned that if you actually follow all those videos, we are all supposed to be billionaires. We're all supposed to be super healthy. We're all supposed to be very smart. I mean, there's so much advice on how to be healthy, how to be smart, how to be rich, how to be, I don't know, how to be balanced. There's so much stuff of nonsense in there that if you're following all this stuff, all of this is supposed to happen to you. You're supposed to live long, literally. Live long, live rich, live healthy. Right? There's so much information to filter. I don't know how kids are going to filter that sort of information and the volume of it. Because I was only like for 3 hours to 2 days, for 3, 4 hours doing that stuff. which, well, I don't know, normally have the time to do it. That's the essence, right? But I can imagine anyone going through all of that and thinking, well, there had to be a lot of nonsense going on, right? It is true. So you look at this and say, well, yeah, this is where the difference of what you should do if you want to be successful. I can't guarantee you success, and no one can guarantee you success. No one anywhere can guarantee. It doesn't matter what if they're giving you a magic pill. They can't guarantee you success based on the magic pill that is supposed to give you success because it might not work the same way in your body. It's just that different. We're all different, right? We all think differently. We all have different abilities. We all have different level of how we're going to absorb information, how we execute information, things that we know. Right? If we're all executing perfectly, we'll all be super sportsmen, right? Because you tell us how to do it, we'll do it perfect, right? And we'll all be, top in everything, which means we are all going to be different. Now, what you need to do is to find what works for you. And this works quite a lot. You've got to go through my videos, look at what we do, understand what the method is about, and then decide, can you use this to work? Can you use this method to execute and make profit? And so far, I can tell you there's a lot of traders in the room, in the group or in general that I've trained so far, right? Of that coach so far, that have guided so far, that have managed to make it successful. And some of them really successful. Now, not all of them. Some of them leave angrily. Some of them messed up their own account, not because they followed what I showed them, because they changed it. They tried to do their own thing, which is normal. That's a normal procedure. You would do your own thing too, to what I tell you. The way you're going to execute it and all that would be different. But would it work for you? So if you're going to stumble on this video accidentally and you're going to look at it and you said, well, all these lines don't seem to make sense. What I would advise you to do if you really, really want to be successful is go through some more. Look at the ones we've done in the past. Look at the results, and then you'll be able to, you can go back, look at the video, look at the prediction, go back, see what the prediction says. And that's just the prediction. That's not the trading. So you can go back and see when we did the live trading videos, how those videos did, right? And the execution itself, which is very important. So that's it. Let's move on. 4 hours. What we're going to look for here. And in our room, we do this every day. So we've done it like a million times. I'm not even talking to my traders right now. I'm talking to the YouTube viewers. When this started to happen, you see that arrow was to bring it down back here and then go back and retest the top. And then if it didn't break that top, that's the number one clue. If it didn't break that up and it comes back to the bottom, the probability of this thing going back up is pretty high. Because again, it's another contracting flat. So what we're going to look at is the chance that this week we might just go right back up. It could break this low, and I think it would break that low. It should break the low, and then go right back up to the top before it drops. Now, if this is going to drop, no problem. We'll just keep selling it, but you just have to be cautious in this range. So any sell setup now that you get has to be almost close to perfect, and you have to manage it very, very carefully. That doesn't mean it can drop to the bottom. If it does, then this would be a contracting flat. I am not looking at that as a contracting flat for many reasons. This is not a case where I'm teaching how to identify patterns. This is where I'm telling you how I identify patterns. So the probability of that going back is pretty high, which means I would look for a few things in the chart, and one of them I can see already. That's divergence. The second one is I want to see this give me a reversal sign. I don't think we're going to get it as yet. We're going to retest this low. Let me take this line out so you can see what are the two lows we're looking at. I'm looking at retesting this low. Not necessarily this one, but because they're so close, there's a high probability we can retest that, and that would be a running flat. So what I'll be looking for is for it to come here, and then very high probability we'll be doing this. We'll be doing something like that. May or may not break that top, depending on if we break that low. After which we're going to drop. So how long does that take? Well, it's very easy. You don't have to worry. How long did this take? This started on the 27th, and it ended somewhere around the 3rd of September. So let's say, I don't know how much it is, 27, 30, let's say 30 days. That's 3, and this one is in 36 days. So that's a week. So we might take a week just going back up, and next week we're going to drop. They don't necessarily have to be equal in time. This could go in one sharp candle there in 1 hour and start reversing. I'm just giving you an idea that if it should move like this, that probably takes us, right? So you could get one single candle go there and that same candle reverses, and that would be okay. That completed the pattern. But most times, if the market is going to move the way it moves, it's just going to go slowly. So what we were looking for is the reversal after we break this low. So can we get a trade to this point? Why not? If we get a nice 5 minutes or 15 minutes chart, that's a trade setup. So should it pull back here, I would use that as a running flat here for one more down. We can look at this as an expanding flat or running flat, and that's it. It will just drop here. So you can go into 15 and see, do we have a flag for a sell? Not necessarily. We don't have a flag. These could be these two are sharp. So if I'm gonna look at this as the full pattern, I'll use these as a running flat, because these two are sharp. That means I'll be using this as a flat inside. If I'm using each one of these as separate correction, and it doesn't matter how you use it, it's about the same thing, right? That's okay. What I want to see here is a consolidation and something pretty huge like this, if I'm going to trade it. And then I'll have to decide where I get the entry and how many pips remaining. To break this low from, let's say you get the entry from here, that would be about 34 pips. That would be worth a trade, because your stop would be here, which is about 20-something pips. So we might get at least one more sell today. And then after that, turn to the upside. Can it turn from here to the upside? Yeah, but that would be another contracting flat. This would be a contracting flat in here. 1, 2, 3. So the hope is that it breaks this low, go back up. You can now, I put it both ways. Again, I don't think it's a contracting flat. I think most likely what's going to be is a running flat. So it's going to break this low and go. I think we can look for a sell setup first. Let's put it looking for a sell setup, and then we'll see what happens from there. Silver. Okay, silver went up, broke the top, which means this was the end of the move. This was just going pretty slow. And at that point in time, I definitely thought this would drop one more, maybe even make one more up and then come here. It just took off. Well, good. Now we know that that was the end. If you bought this, maybe this would be 1 buy to retest the stop. That could have been a trade. I'm not sure I would take this one. Can we take a trade here now if we get it? Yeah, we can do that, because we broke out of the structure completely. And if we broke out of this structure, maybe this is the end of that structure, because this was just a deep correction and we are going up. So come back to the daily here. And if it goes up, where would it go to? All right, let's say this is going up from this point. All right, would it go to break this top? That's most likely what you'd expect it to do. Right? If this is all the consolidation, this one is coming to break that top. Now, can it go out of this structure? We don't know that this is what it's doing. That's an assumption right now. The assumption is we're in this kind of, this has a 1, 2, 3. You got a correction here. You got a 1, 2, 3. You got a correction here. You could get a 1. You could get a deep 2. You could get a 3. And then drop. What we know for sure is that we have divergence in here. I think we definitely have divergence already. No, only in here. We don't have divergence in here. So there's at least one more pullback, right? Because this one did not give divergence, right? This one could give divergence. Sorry, this here might give divergence, because we don't have divergence between these two. So should this one give us divergence here and the upside, we'll look for this to give a turning point. Now, at some point, it's going to turn, right? Because you do have a 1, you do have a 2, and you can see the divergence between the first one and that. And what you're seeing is that this is being the sharpest one so far. We've got a deep, you can put this as a 1, 2, 3. That's the sharpest one. You've got a deep correction, and then it's doing this. It's going up, but it's going up really slow. So should it break this top here? If we break this top, and there is divergence, we'll start to look for reversal. We still have to go break that top. So since we broke, take this out. Since we broke this top already, I don't think this is going to go lower. Since we broke this top already and we're almost coming out of this structure, there's a good chance it could get to that point. Now, all you have to do is look for buy setups now. I think we could get a running flat here, and that would be a buy setup because we're out of the structure. So should this pull back for a running flat, this could be a buy setup. if for whatever reason it's going much deeper, and that is possible, the correction could come much deeper because this impulse is pretty sharp, right? From here going on to this top. So if it's making a deeper correction, you'll wait for this to drop and make a flag or some kind of a flat, small flat before you sell. So once it comes back this much, we can use that. We can assume that that is a running flat. That means one more, at least one more impulse up, right? So let's see if we get that trade. This would be a buy setup. Gold, we're looking for a very small trade in here. That was this one here, very small trade. I didn't think that trade actually worked. That was like for it to come back and retest the low, it actually went higher. It went above there, so this should have come off. That was on Friday, I think. It did come back and give you more of a running flat like this, which wouldn't be a sell because once it breaks the top, you'll take off the sell. That would, I wasn't here. I don't think I was here, but that would have been a buy setup. And now you've got this. All right, so my assumption is we're making some kind of a running flat here. All right, we can look at this because we've got a sharp move down here. We've got to move up. We've got a consolidation. We've got to move up, and we're pulling back. So should this go within this range, I think we can look for a buy setup. You'd have to get a flag. If we don't get a flag, use the top of the structure. All right, so if we don't get a flag, we could use the entry or above the top for a buy. Or you can wait for this to make a flag if you want to sell. Right, if you get a flag on the way up, it would be a buy. Where is this taking us? Let's see. We have to go to the daily because you're already going just more up. There's no specific point. We do have divergence, but there's no specific point where it's going because it's going all the way. It's all-time high. I think this was the all-time high. Right, we broke the previous all-time high already. But the weekly, did we break the previous all-time high? Yeah, we did. We broke all the all-time highs. So this is just climbing. This is the one we're looking for. We broke that up already a long time ago. So this is just climbing. You just have to, now you have to still be very cautious because in the all-time high, at some point they start dropping. So don't get stuck in a trade. Now, if we're wrong about the running flat and this is trying to drop, you can look. As a matter of fact, every time it makes a new top and give you a sell setup, you should take it. Every time we make a new high, you get a sell setup, whether it's break even or not, take it. Now, this is the sharp move. And we're looking at this as to be the sharp move because this is more like a 1, 2, 3. So if it starts to reverse here, give you a flag, we buy that one. If it makes a flag here, we sell it. So it could be both ways, but most likely it's going to be a buy. Euro. We weren't buying the euro at this point. I think we were expecting this to start dropping, go for a sell setup. Let's see in the bigger picture. Well, we still don't have a buy setup at the top there. Right, you're in this structure. Sorry, let me take this out. That's the top. And we're at the top of that structure. I don't think that's a buy setup there. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't be surprised if it actually comes back here. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. So what we'd be looking for most likely is a sell setup here. Let's see if we get it. Can this go higher? It can. We did break this low, so there's no point in going to break the top, especially if we think of this as a running flat 1, 2, 3. So come back here. I don't see a clear. I don't think this had a clear buy setup. Like this one was easier, but I don't see a clear buy setup here. Probably this flag. This didn't really make a flag and just consolidate. And I don't think it's part of any running flat. So we'll have to either get a flag here to buy or a reversal sign. So if it makes a consolidation like this here, makes another consolidation like that, we buy it. That would be one more impulse up, just one impulse every time until you break through this top. So I'm going to put a line here just to gauge the top, right? You have to reverse this last move now. If we reverse that last move, we could be going for much higher, right? Breaking this top and going higher. But as long as you're in this, That downside is very possible. So all we have to do is come, is there one more up? Possible. If not, then you're looking for sell setups. For the buy, you would have to give it a couple hours here and then buy, which means you have to get something like this to buy. On the downside, you wanted to drop, make a flag, and sell. The flag for the sell doesn't have to be that big. It could be 3 hours. Use it in the 15 minutes or 5 minutes and go for the sell. We do have divergence already, so I don't see any reason why it can't drop. So you can look for this both ways. The upside is limited until it proves total upside, but for the sell, you're coming to retest this low, so good. Pound. The pound would have been a buy. I wasn't here when this happened, but like I said, that was in news. That would have been a buy. This can be a buy to go one more up. We're in the same kind of structure as the euro. Same kind of structure. Bigger picture is downside for the pound, but if it pulls back again this much, right, what you want to see to confirm the downside, you want to see this as a running flat. Right, if that proves a running flat and this drop, you want it not to stop here. You don't want it to stop here. You want it to drop straight through. Right, like we will draw a line here and we'll make sure that it's breaking out of that structure, because if it stops here and go back up, all you have is a consolidation, and that would mean retesting the top. So two ways we look at this. I have a very, very strong feeling it's going to go back. Now we'll wait for the setup, but there's a very strong feeling because I don't see this as the B wave. Right? I don't see this as the B wave, and there's a time factor in that. This is the time of the impulse. This is the time of the second impulse. And this is the time of the consolidation. So it doesn't make sense. But if this goes back here and the time of the consolidation is this, and this is your first impulse down, then that makes sense for the next impulse down. And then if it wants to go out of the structure, it will retest the low and go back. If not, we're dropping to the bottom. I think the downside is much more higher probability. So I'm looking at this and thinking, well, this is what we have. And this down move is much of a higher probability than, going to make a higher move. So when it comes here, it either is going to drop to like this and then go back up. Or if we break through this, we'll retest the stop, come here and then go back up. Because we still haven't got this. Right? There's no structure with that. So we will get it eventually. And I know that when I said you're going to get that, some people might be looking for it today. No, not today. That's not going to happen. It doesn't happen in 5 minutes, right? So if you look at this pattern, when that happened and this came back here and we got this big correction inside of it, we're pretty sure that it's going to go back and retest this stop, right? As a matter of fact, I thought this was the one that was going to go retest the top. But then it dropped one more and then went back. But you still got the flat. Right? The whole point is you still get this. Whether it goes in this one or whether it even went in that one, it doesn't matter. If you were trading that up, you would exit that trade. So the same thing here, right? Whether it goes one more up here first and then come here, or whether this comes here, it doesn't make a difference in the terms of the analysis. In terms of the trading, there's no difference in that because we're not going to just sell it. Right? We're not really just selling this immediately. If we get a sell setup, we take it. If we get a buy setup, well, maybe we even go for one more trade to the upside. I don't see this one breaking out because structurally, I don't think this is enough of a correction, like I said. But yeah, I can see them, even if it pulls back here. I don't know. Can we go with this as a running flat? I think we can make an argument for that and see if it goes one more up. See, this had a big flat here. Go one more up and then came down. Can this go back one more up there and then come back? Should we buy this? I think absolutely, right? So the first trade you want is a trade to the downside. This range is pretty small, right? If it's dropping one more like this, that's 42%. Well, not that small, you can trade it. So what we can do, since the downside is more preferable for us, is that if we get any flag here, you wanted to reverse this last move and make a flag. We can sell this flag for one more down. Come back here. And then maybe even go back up. But should it just drop? That's the trade you're looking for. So you're not really looking for this one, although you can get 20 pips there. You're looking for the big drop that could possibly happen. But should it be a running flat with this, with all of this? Who cares? Maybe this is the running flat. Expanding flat. Right, that could be the expanding flat with this being 1, 2, 3 in there. See, the more you go into the details, the more there are much, much more patterns inside. I don't like that, so I think the possibility is mostly this one. right? With this being a 1, 2, 3 here. Come back here, go back up one more. We have a similar thing with the US dollar as well, whether it's going to do that. So we'll see. I can put this both ways too. Aussie. Now, if there's anyone that I think could go back to the top, that is Aussie, right? We've been saying that Aussie needs to go break that top before it turns. Otherwise, we'll have a contract. So this upside on the Aussie was not a surprise to us. What we're looking for is the buy. So I think there's a good chance it's coming back for this. And then upside. I don't see this one fitting with that. So this would have to be some kind of a contracting flatten. But this definitely looks downside. Can it continue to go up from there? Well, it can, but I don't see that happening. Because you got a big correction here, got a little correction here. This could have been a risky sell, probably not. Let it drop. I let it drop like this. And then we start looking for the buy from here going up. We'll definitely be looking for a buy there. So if you actually, what's the range of this? That's 40 pips, more like euro and pound, same about 40 pips. Can this go one more up? It can, but should we buy it? I'm not sure. We know it's going up. You can take this at your own risk. You just have to get out really quick should it start to pull back. So there is a buy setup here, a very short-term buy setup. But because we have the correction in here, and we know that when we have a correction inside of a move like this, we're always getting a running flat. That's like 90% of the time. You have to know that should it break that top, should it come and break this top here, you can get a very quick reversal. That would be like this. So all you have to do is manage this trade. I don't see this is all the correction, although it's possible. What I'm not worried about is I'm worried about this, the correction inside of that. So one more here, and then because it broke the top as a running flat, we're going to be looking for the next move up. And this should come and break this top. Where is the top? Oh, this one here. Should come and break that up. So let's see if we get this flat here, that confirms the upside. Even if you don't want to sell, let it happen and then go for the buy. Should we take this buy here to see whether this one takes off? Well, take it and then we'll manage that trade. What if that is the one that takes off? And this was all the correction. If that's the case, then you want to buy. So this can be an active buy. You can put it as an active buy, an aggressive one. But just be aware that you have to manage it. And keep your stop a little away from this low. New Zealand could go up, but it's not the one you want to buy. Like I said, this we have that to probably go break this top, but not the one you want to buy. Or we're not putting anything in this as a buy yet, because this broke the top and the big picture is mostly downside. We broke that top, so there's no reason for this to go back up higher. It can go, but there's no reason for that to happen. So let's see. We did break this low here, right? We broke that low, but we're not looking at this as a 1, 2, 3 is it. If you look at that as a 1, 2, 3 like this, then at least you're going back up for this move to come and break this top here and then drop, right? Because this would be 1, 2, 3. It means this pattern will no longer be valid. So if we look at it like that, if we look at it like this, where this is the 1, 2, 3, and this comes and break the low again, then we'll still have to go back up. So at this point, this one is not confirming the bias yet. And I don't think we have a clear buy setup here either. So let's wait. Let's wait some more in New Zealand. God, would have been a break even than the sell. I don't think that was the first sell we were looking for. It was this one here, and I think you had a lot of time to make that decision after it tagged. It even went back and come down, so that would give you the odd chance here to get rid of it. And we're more in a sideways move. So if you pull it like this, we're totally in this sideways move. And this sideways move is contracting. And since I don't think this is all the correction, which is possible, more likely I think this here is the correction. even if it goes back up there, is that it could drop one more here. Can it go back up more? It's possible, but the big picture is still downside, right? The big picture still looks downside. We need to come a little lower into this. So what we're going to look for here, there's no sense trying to buy this to go back to the top here. Even if it's coming to this top, there's no point because this is contracting, right? It has to prove that this is one huge contracting triangular flat, whichever you're looking for, right? So let this go back here. And then we look for the sell setup here or here, wherever you get that flag, or under the low here with a stop above this. Now, should it just do 1, 2, 3 to go back up? We can get rid of that trade. The trade you're looking for is for this to come to the bottom here and probably even break through. So we're looking for a sell setup. It's more of a setup now. Swiss. This sell was okay. You probably managed to close it. If you didn't manage to close it, you take break even. The idea is for this to come here and then see what's going to drop to the bottom. And we're back there. It's kind of looking like it's going to drop. I think this would become a bigger flat now. See, this was a sharp pullback. So there's a very good chance that it might even go back up one more before it drops. This would be a good flat to sell. If this is going through the bottom to come and retest this low, you need a flag here, just like this flag. You need a flag to sell. So you saw the flag we sold, right? Actually, you could have sold that flag higher, but that was the one we took in the trading room, right? Some traders took it higher. So either we get a flat here or wait for a flag now, and it's a sell. So this is a sell setup to come back to this low, maybe break the low, maybe even break this low, and then upside. So I'll say look for a sell setup, short term. Yen. We're still in this structure. So if you took the sell, you'd have to take the sell from here. We got the one more up, which was the equivalent of this. Which was the equivalent of this. So we got 1, 2, 3. This could have been a sell. This could have been a sell. That would be a break even. This could be a sell. And that would be positive. Right? We're here, but as it comes closer here now, that's where you're going to watch it. I don't think there's any need for this to go back up. Right now, this could be a channel and this takes off. Or this could be just the running flat we thought it is. And this drops. So the sell from the top there was perfect. And I hope some of you guys got that. Watch it here now. If you're in any sell, get it to break even or get it to positive. Because what you're looking for now is whether we break through this or if it goes back there. And if it goes back, this is a channel. If not, we'll just go with this as the running flat. 2 running flats. This one and this one. Right? There are 2 running flats here. So at this point, we'll have to wait and see. Breakthrough now. If you're not in any trade, you'll have to wait to see whether it breaks through now. We still have this open, right? We kind of still have this one here. Although it's of its own. Even if that is the case, this one here wasn't exactly corrective, right? Although you have this flat in the middle. So if this starts to go back up, we can expect this. And then downside. So at this point here, you have to be careful which option come. We'll look at it again in the New York session and we'll decide which option comes. So I'll take the sell setup out now. There's no sell setup now. We'll have to wait. Euro and New Zealand, the buy was perfect. And the buy was to come back here. And this turned out to be what we think it is, a running flat. That's this one, right? Actually, I thought it would just come here. So this buy was to go there. If you closed it, and I'm not sure you re-enter, but if you re-enter, you got break even. Now it's at the top there and it's coming back. Maybe we got this a little wrong because I don't think this has anything to do. So this could still be this, right? And we're coming back for this one. We could be here for a longer time. I'll take this out now. It's gone. We could be here much longer than we think it is, right? In that consolidation. So can it come back and retest the low? I think it will come back and retest the low. Right? So this will come back here. And if you get a sell setup, go for the trade. What you need is an impulse and a flag, and I think you've got that already. So if we bought this, we're going to sell this, right? Pretty easy. You can put an entry order right there. Then you know what I'm looking at, and go for that sell. So we're looking for a move that is going to drop to this point, back to the low. And from there, we'll see. We get to buy again. I think we can. I don't think this was the end of the move because then this would have taken off. So that sell is a good idea. Let's see how far it goes. Euro Swiss, it didn't break out and it still hasn't broken out. And this is not going to break out right now. It's a buy setup. It's coming back down. Not clear why we're coming back down. We're still in this, right? Okay, can this take off? I wouldn't be surprised. Why not? This thing has been moving weird. So you want this to drop a little more here. And then let's trade this to the upside. So let's put it this way. Come with this one. Put an entry order here. Go for this move up. Get it to positive. If it's making a flat, it's going to be in here. It's going to go there and then come back here. Maybe more like this. But if it takes off, this would be all your correction. If it takes off from there, this here would be all the correction. And this would be the upside, which is okay. I think that's possible. So this would be a buy setup. I can leave it as an active buy too. Euros. Okay, we do have a flat here. But that's not giving us much information because we still have this sharp one up. We have a sharp one down. I don't think this is the end of the structure. Got another sharp one up. We're getting a flat. This might even retest the top. But then you have 1, 2, 3, all within this structure. So the question is, does it come down one more and then go? And I think that's possible. So what's the most immediate trade here? It would be a buy setup. We don't have the buy setup because we're going to take this as the correction, right? Got to move down and you've got to move down. So let's see if we get a flag here and we go for the buy to retest this top. That'll be a short-term buy to retest the top. So look for a buy setup at the moment. EuroCAD. Okay, so we're at the top there now. And again, can we retest the low one more? Right? Can it come down back one more time to this point here and then go? Well, now it's about to tell us. Either we break out of the structure, either this breaks out of the structure here, make a consolidation and then go. Or at this point, it reverse, make a flag, and then we are selling it back to the low, which would be something like this or something like this. And the downsides are pretty fast. That's the impulsive side, right? And the reason I think that is very, very, very possible is because of this flat here and this flat here. So if you're in this buy, there was a buy setup there this morning. Let me see the 15. Yep, there was. That would be this flag and this flag. So if you're in the buy, get it to positive. If it starts to reverse here, make another flag like this, that's a sell setup. For the next buy setup, you have to wait for it to break out and make a flat. So that might take much longer. We can put it both ways. Europon? Yep. This one is definitely not making a lot of sense. So even if you take these two, right? If you take these two as a 1, 2, 3, 4 running flat, which makes a lot of sense. Problem is, why didn't we break through that low? And we're getting more of a flat here inside of this. So can we assume that this one is going to go up? I think it might not worth trading. The bigger picture is downside, but we don't have a sell setup as it. You can leave this here. We know the reason for that, but we don't have a sell setup as it. And this is not a sell setup. Euro yen. Okay, this came down quite a lot. And we don't have, I think we're still going with that as a running flat because this one was lower. That's a very sharp move up there. Yeah, this move up here was pretty sharp. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get one more of that here. And then the downside. Right? Can we assume that this here was all the correction? Let's say this. You can make an argument for that, but it's not the best argument. So let's look for the buy setup from this point, either for the impulse backup or for total upside. So I'll take this out. And what we do is we look for a move to the upside. Right? We're looking for a move to the upside like this. And that means that we either get this one first, which would be this, and then they come back one more down and then go, which means you're going to get out of that trade. Or that is the one that goes. Look for buy setups. Okay, it's already in the buy side. And that was this. I think we can look for reversal because you can make an argument that this consolidation here is enough. All right, so let's see if we get a buy setup. And this one here, the question is whether this is making a flat. You can also make an argument for a 1, a 2, and a 3. So let's see which one. Go back. Punkad, upside, we're at the top. And now we have to know what the hell was this inside of it, right? Is it 1, 2, 3, and come back here and then go? Or does it go from here? And if it goes from here, how do we put this structure? So we wait. Wait for a possible reversal from this point. Let's see if we can get this to drop, make a flag, and then go for the sell. That would be the best trade because in that sense, it will complete the bigger pattern for us. If this keeps going up, every trade you take becomes pretty high risk. So we start looking for that sell setup now. I thought this one would make the flag. I thought this one here would make the flag. All the yen pairs have this sharp move that after finishing this one, which we got on this running flat, correct? They got the sharp move, they came down. So the question is whether we've got this out of the way, right? If we're looking at this as the running flat, if that is out of the way, then this is supposed to make a new low, right? So the sell we had here, and we were taking these sells, so this first sell would have been good, the second sell would have been good. You could probably get rid of this one and go for a sell here. That would be okay. So if we get another sell here, we sell. Right? Because I'm not expecting them to go back up so quick until we get to this low. So these are the two tops, right? This one. So the question is now when it comes here, if and when it comes here, do we look at this and this has been equal? If that's the case, then this goes back up and then drop. Right? If that's not the case, then this just continue to drop. Look for sell setups. Still look for the sell setups on the Pong end. Pongos. Okay, let's see if we get this down move here. That is this one. It's coming down. Right now we're consolidating here. So that will go one more up, come back, go back up, come back here, and then we'll see whether this is a correction for upside. There is no trade in the moment. There is a buy setup here, but this doesn't make sense. Because we've got this up, Even if you take this as a separate one, we've got this up. At least one more up. Look for buy setups. Look for short-term buy setups. Pound New Zealand, let's see. Okay, this looks like it's going to come down one more. More like this. Let's see the bigger picture, what it looks like. Yeah, that looked like it could come down one more. I was expecting more like this move up, but this one is a bit more messy. So I wouldn't be sure if this doesn't, put it way out there and then come. Because we haven't broken the top. I think this one did break the top. If it's reversing one more to this low, we can go for the sell. Let's go into 15 minutes. We can go for this sell. Take this as a reversal. See, there was a flag here. Buy, drop. That just makes a flag here now. Sell. Because we're expecting the downside in this one. At least one more downside. So let's look for the sell setup. This should be a sell. This should be an active sell for that matter of fact. It's not fully, formed. This could go back up a little here. You don't want it to go too high. You want it to stay within this range. And then it's a sell setup. So go for the sell. Should this go higher, we'll just ignore it because the buy setup is not there. Bounce risk. Okay, you've got a buy setup here. The first one didn't go. This one looks like it's going to go. One more up, and then we'll see what happens to that. This could end up being a running flat. Because of this consolidation here, it could just do this. Come back here and then go. Right, that would be the trade. So still it's a buy. We take the buy and then we manage it. Get it above the last impulse and let's see where that goes. So that's a buy setup. A running flat is possible within the structure, right? This one. Should it go like that and pull back? It's going to retest this low and then go. Keep your stop a little below that. Aussie Swiss. Also buy setup. Possible running flat too. Because this is the impulse down. So we'll be consolidating here for a longer period of time. That's a buy setup. Aussie yen, same thing. This one is really sharp. So the question is, I think we're looking at this one as the flat here. So this sharp move up has to be with this. Some point this goes back up. So there's no sell right into this low. It has to break that low, make a flat or something before we sell. Expecting it to go back up. We're expecting this to go back up like this. And that means we'll be looking for a buy setup in the 5 minutes. Look for a buy setup in the 5 minutes if you get it. Okay, Aussie CAD. They're already at the top. We have this pattern in two of them right now. Two of the Aussie pairs, the Aussie Swiss and the Pound Swiss, and we're buying both of them. See, when they get to the top, then now you need to get into positive. Because this could come right back down here, make a flat, and then go. So it's a buy setup. This is a buy setup, but not from where it is. Not from, this was this flag we're trying to trade, right? Not the pullback. It pulled back and made a flat here. So is it making a running flat here? Okay. It could come back one more. So if you're gonna buy, if you get any buy setup here, take it with caution. I don't see any buy setup. There was a flag before there, but we already broke it. We broke the top, and let's see if we get a reversal. Let's see. This buy is over. New Zealand Swiss. This is one of the few Swiss pairs that we're only looking for buying, but now it's getting a sell setup. Can it drop one more? Let's see. Yeah, why not? This could drop one more here and then, go back up. I don't have a trade here. There's a sell setup, but we're not selling the Swiss, especially New Zealand Swiss. This might just do this and go back up. So let's wait for the buy setup when we get it. I'll take it off. We don't have a buy setup, but we wait. New Zealand yen. Okay, so we got that flat. We got this. We were expecting this to go back up. That didn't happen. So we're gonna get this now. This is what you're looking for. Right, go back there and then come down. I think we're just gonna leave everything else of its own. There's that upside possible. We didn't get this one. We did get a pullback here. We did get a pullback here and a pullback here, but we didn't get an equivalent of that. And let's see. That's a buy setup we're looking for now. That's in New Zealand, yes. New Zealand CAD. Okay, this came down. It's going up one more. This is over. That was the sell. Came down more like this. And it's going back up one more. I'm not sure this has a lot more to, but if you get a flag, you can buy. You need a correction mostly to buy. That's one more impulse. What's the big picture? This up move here is it's happening, right? But it's still within this pullback and this pullback. So somewhere here, you're just gonna get it to go there and then come back here. We don't have a good buy setup there. Although I like the upside, the buy setup is not clear. Too much consolidation inside of this down move. So let's wait. Don't buy into the top. Just leave it, let it break the top, and then we'll see. Aussie, New Zealand, we broke the top just like this. You see, we didn't buy into this, let it break the top, and then let's see if we get a sell setup. So if you remember, right, we got this, we got that. I was like, ignore the buy, let it break the top. If it starts to give a sell setup, wait for it. So if this makes a flag sell, so we're looking for a sell setup here. Canadian, if we go with this is the flat, I think that's the option we're using right now. This downside sell is a good idea. It would have been more. You should have sold there, should have sell here, should have sell here, and wait for another flag to sell. What's the bigger picture? Well, the question is whether from this point is going to go back up. And then what we're looking at is this, and we're thinking, could that be the full correction, or is there more? Any case, if you get a sell setup, sell it. Go to the 15. If we get sell setup here, we'll sell. It's the downside. Cat Swiss. Didn't break out, coming back down. Wait for it to come back down and then one more up. All right, so we didn't break out, which means we're going to go with this. I think we'll have to go with two running flats here, which would be this one and this one. Although this move down was pretty sharp. So we can go with two running flats like this. Make this the internal one. All right, so you get 1, 2, 3, but you get a 1, a 2, and a 3 inside. So if you got a 1, a 2, and a 3 here, and you got an up move, then you should get a down move. Right, which means we're looking at this here as the flat. As a 1, 2, 3. And that means some kind of a correction here and drop one more. You need a correction there, something like this. Drop one more. And then go. So we need this correction. We don't have a full correction here. We do have this sharp move up, which is a 1, 2, 3. Let us go back up there and then sell. Let it go back up here and then sell it. So there's a sell setup to get. Either you get it from there or you get a flag here to sell. It needs to break this low and then turn. So we're coming to break this low and then turn. I like this trade setup. Because now from here, this could be a bigger move up. So look for a buy setup. I don't know if you'll get the sell. It's both the sell first and then the buy. It's a short-term sell. And then when it breaks the low, we look for the buy. So let's see which one comes first. Swiss yen. This is only a sell. Remember, we discussed this. This is only sells. Anything is sell. If this pull back, sell it. Look for a sell setup. I could see them pulling back. I could see them doing this. Maybe even one more down and up again. Make this a flat. And make that draw. So look for sell setups. And we broke the top. So at that point, let's see if we start getting this. If it consolidates here, buy. I mean a big consolidation. We did break the top and we might be turning. We broke the top there. And it might be turning. So wait for this to come here, make a flag, and then start looking for sell setups. If it's making a flat, we can buy. But that will take a lot of patience. I think this sell is the most likely thing to get here. Look for sell setups. Natural gas. Okay. It's coming back here. So either we're making a deeper pullback for one more up, or we're coming to retest this low. This is very corrective. So any flag you get here becomes a sell setup. That's if we get it. The buy is okay, but I don't see a buy setup anywhere. So look for a sell setup. US oil buy setup. Still a buy. Go to the 1 hour. Okay, you've got a small flat here. And let's see the big picture again. Let's see where we are. It can still make one more down. That means this will be the first leg of a possible flat. If we're repeating this move, this is the first leg in that. So if this drop, it's going to drop, go back up, make a flat, and then drop. So let's go here, see if we want to sell. You're getting a sell set. I put an entry order here to sell. Make sure this doesn't go higher. So I put a line here. Should it go higher, take it off. Right, keep it at that level. If it goes any higher than that, is a flat for upside. Or we will eventually make a flat for upside. So that's a sell, but it could become a buy. US 30. Okay, it's back at the top, so we'll have to put this as the running flat. Not the best option, but that becomes the running flat. That'll be this one. You've got a 1, 2, 3. This is going back up. It's not a buy setup. So this one here was a buy. Right, if we took that, it's making another buy setup. Let it go there, come back here. This is another buy setup, and that means we'll break this top. So this was just a deep pullback. Let's go with that. This here was a deep pullback that did come back. We still don't have this 1, 2, 3, and I don't think that's all the correction. So the buy setup here is once you break that up, be on the side of caution. I think we have divergence here. See that? You're looking at these two. And then you can look at this in a lower time frame. It's more upside right now, at least until you break the top. So let's see if this consolidation gives us a buy setup here. You want it to go back up, consolidate here, give you a flat, and then look for a buy. One more impulse, and then on the side of caution, because from there it can come back down. Right, we still haven't got this full 1, 2, 3 yet. So take that out. And this one was the buy. We actually start buying these because this one looks more like it can go retest the top and then come. This pullback was not there. If you get a flag, buy it. There's a flag you can get here for the buy. Let it go back there, come back here, give you this one, and then go for that buy. Again, if you bought this one, nothing. You bought that, nothing. You can buy this again, same thing. Let's hope it takes off. So you're looking for one more impulse up like this. Or at least to break this top, right? At least it's to break the top, and then you're looking for downside. So this up move here should go break that up. And then come back here before we go. 1, 2, 3. Let's see what happens when it breaks it up. Okay, this is going back up. We're looking for a pullback here. I think we got the pullback on the lower time frame. Yes, let's see. No, we actually never got that pullback. It just went. I think it was this small pullback here. It didn't go. So can we buy? We're in this piece. Let me just put it like this. We're coming to retest this top. So you can probably get one more trade to retest that top. More like this. So we didn't break the low, which means one more to retest the top. Let's see. One more retest the stop and then be careful, right? Because that gives you a flat for downside. Let's see, this is downside. It's not ready. It's gonna break. This is going up a little, but this is consolidation. So even if it goes up there, it's probably gonna pull back here and then go back, and all of this is downside. So no buy setups. DAX. Did we get a pullback? No, but you're getting a pullback now. Any pullback now becomes a buy. Actually, you do have a little pullback here. You wanted to pull back a little more. Just a little more, and then we go for the buy. So we're still looking for the buy setup here. Sell. It's gonna go break the top, but then sell. It's gonna come here, break this top, but then sell setup. Right, let it break the top, and then we look for the sell. Nifty. You have one more buy still. It's making a flag. So go for one more buy. We still haven't got this pullback, right? We still haven't got that pullback. So at some point we'll get it. But this looks like one more up. Tesla. It's kind of sitting here. Probably drop like this, give you a flat here. And then probably one more up. Right, because it came back to the top. So this trend line would be irrelevant. What's going to relevant is coming back for this move. And HK50. Okay, you have a buy setup. I have a buy setup here. Go with the trade. One more buy, and then we'll see if it comes and breaks the stop. There's at least one more buy happening here. Right about now, too. If it makes a flag, that would give you a better trade. Right? Okay, just a few more of the cryptos, and then we're going to go. So you got an up move, and it's pulling back. So we got that up move that we're looking for. If you're buying it, you're only buying it for this up move, at least. And this one did not take off all the way to the top. But we're getting a flat here, and that means it could go up one more, right? That means this could still go up one more. We're still in this structure. So this here now could go up one more. Look for a buy setup. Wait for a flag here, so buy. If it makes a flag, it gives you, I mean, you want an impulse or flag for the upside, right? So you want this to go, you want to make a flag here, and then you want this flag to the upside. If this is going to drop lower, you'll need a big flat to drop. But I think most likely the upside coming back here. Ethereum. Yep, this is mostly downside. I don't see this going back up, so this is mostly downside. You're getting a running flat here. And that's one more up. Look for a buy setup here to go. Maybe this will break out, so look for a buy setup. And LTC. Okay, if this comes back one more, probably just retest this low. And if we get a flag here, assume it's coming here to retest the low. This will become a flat. So we're going to be stuck in this here for a while. We're not going up or down. We're just going sideways up, small range. Once that finished, once this finished, you're going to get a sudden spike. So look for the buy setup all the time. You're going to, every time it comes down, give you a buy setup, take the trade. Now it's coming down. Let it come down, retest the low, make a buy setup, go for the trade. Because we're still in this sideways here. Okay, guys, I'll leave you with that. All the other cryptos, and so we can do them in the trading room. So everybody, thank you for watching. The YouTube viewers, if you like, leave a comment and let me know what else you would like to see. So take care, trade with care. Have a good week ahead of you. Thank you.